The question is, are all these loves equal? And this question also begs the question whether English is capable of distinguishing the difference. Because in English, we just use the word love. I love my car, I love my job, I love my wife, I love my children, I love God, I love everything as I love. But to get and even in English, you get the feeling as though they're not the same. But the Greek and even Spanish, which has some Latin background, there are different words that are used to express the same concept of love. Now, the Greeks use about at least four different terms for love. You have agapeo, love to God; Philadelphia, love to a human, either a woman loving another woman or a man loving another woman, a man. Eros, which is usually between the opposite sex, and Storgo, which is a parent to a child. And so, is it possible then that a person of the same sex could demonstrate eros to the next person? In a way, this is what they're doing, but is it really working? For example, suppose a man decides to show eros to another man. I mean, the response is going to be so different. Both of them might have erections in the anus, the sense and the other experiences, the taste of the saliva and so forth, doesn't have, estrogen and so forth. It's a completely different thing. And so, as far as I'm concerned, people could do what they want. And I'm not saying that, you shouldn't go ahead and do what you want. I'm just saying that, according to the science and the information that's available, that they're different. And moreover, you have a woman would have inspirations that are feminine and a man masculine. That is from God. And a woman will respond to the man in a way that would be appropriate and would be even to fulfill a need that the person has. And if she is cognizant enough, she will say that, this is an inspiration from God that, told me to do this. And the same thing with a man. God is not going to tell a woman a masculine response to another female. So the whole sweat is this, that I think that heterosexual relationship, man woman, it's the only way that the true love is expressed. And so if I were to love another man with eros, I think it's kind of using the love inappropriately, perverting it perhaps. And so I saw in Puerto Rico where this university student was wearing a shirt with a picture like this, and he's saying that all the loves are equal. And they're not equal because they're different concepts. Jesus and Peter were having a discussion, and Jesus was saying, Peter, do you agapeo me? Do you recognize me as God? Do you love me as God? He was saying, I phileo you. Because at this point, he remembered that Jesus was born amongst them, and he grew up and know him and so on. And so he has this brotherly love for him. But the teachings and everything is that this is God who created the world kingdom, and he, had this discussion with him. If Christ had continued asking him, do you agapeo me? They would have continued forever all through the night with, yes, I phileo you. And so Jesus ended the discussion, realizing that he hadn't the Holy Spirit moment, said, do you phileo me? And he says, yes, I phileo you. And so the conversation ended after 3 rounds. And so what do you think? Do you think that a person could appropriate the appropriate love to the same sex? And individuals are free to do what they want, but down the road, when people aren't fulfilled and people aren't loved to the way they ought to be loved, and they're, having all these problems, I'm just wondering if it's not going to be our problem again, where we have to deal with helping them cope with something that would have been okay had they been, following the true teachings of Jesus. And in Leviticus, I was going through the Leviticus recently, and it talks about that. Not only that, it even says that I shouldn't have erotic love towards my father's wife, my mother, or if he married to another woman, her, or a near relative. And so, we got to be careful. I mean, we might tell people this and that, and the court and the government and everybody else, but this is a matter between individuals and their God. And nobody could say that, well, my government say this or the court said that. God is talking to you. And just like scamps in business, they join all kind of bogus Eastern religion because they don't want to deal with the Christian religion, because God is saying to them, you give back and stop your scampishness. So let me see how this is going to go.